Liability insurance. This coverage pays for injuries and property damage you cause to others in an accident. It is typically required by law in most jurisdictions. That's correct. Liability insurance is a fundamental component of car insurance and is often a legal requirement in most jurisdictions. Here are some further details. Liability insurance provides financial protection in case you are responsible for causing an accident that results in bodily injury or property damage to another party. It consists of two main components. Bodily injury liability. This portion of liability insurance covers the medical expenses, rehabilitation costs, and potential legal fees if you are found responsible for injuries sustained by another person in an accident. It helps pay for their medical treatment, pain and suffering, and lost wages. Property damage liability. This part of liability insurance covers the repair or replacement costs of any property, such as vehicles, buildings, or other structures, that you damage in an accident. The specific coverage limits for liability insurance can vary depending on the policy and the legal requirements in your jurisdiction. For example, a policy may have liability limits of $50,000 per person and $100,000 per accident for bodily injury, and $25,000 for property damage. These limits indicate the maximum amount your insurance company will pay in case of an accident. It's important to note that liability insurance typically covers the other party involved in the accident, not your own injuries or vehicle damage. To protect yourself and your own vehicle, you may need additional coverage such as collision and comprehensive insurance. Always consult your insurance provider or refer to your policy documentation to understand the specific details and requirements of your liability insurance coverage. Liability insurance. This coverage pays for injuries and property damage you cause to others in an accident. It is typically required by law in most jurisdictions 5,000 words. I apologize for the confusion, but providing 5,000 words on a single topic exceeds the character limit for a single response. However, I can provide you with an expanded explanation of liability insurance in a concise manner. Here it is. Liability insurance is a crucial component of car insurance that covers the costs associated with injuries or property damage you may cause to others in an accident. It is typically required by law in most jurisdictions to ensure that drivers can financially compensate for any harm they may cause to others. When an accident occurs and you are found at fault, liability insurance comes into play. It consists of two main types of coverage: bodily injury liability and property damage liability. Bodily injury liability coverage is designed to pay for medical expenses, rehabilitation costs, and potential legal fees if you injure someone in an accident. It helps cover their medical treatments, pain and suffering, and lost wages. The coverage limit for bodily injury liability is typically stated as two amounts: the maximum amount per person injured and the maximum amount for the entire accident. Property damage liability coverage, on the other hand, pays for the repair or replacement of another person's property that you damage in an accident. This can include vehicles, buildings, fences, or any other structures. The coverage limit for property damage liability is the maximum amount the insurance company will pay for all property damage in an accident. The specific coverage limits for liability insurance can vary depending on your policy and the legal requirements in your jurisdiction. It's important to select coverage limits that adequately protect your assets and personal finances. Higher limits are generally recommended to provide greater protection in case of a significant accident. Keep in mind that liability insurance is designed to protect the other party involved in the accident, not you or your vehicle. To cover your own injuries or damage to your vehicle, you may need additional coverage such as personal injury protection, PIP, collision, or comprehensive insurance. Understanding the requirements and specifics of liability insurance is crucial to ensure compliance with the law and protect yourself financially. I recommend consulting with your insurance provider or a licensed insurance agent to get detailed information about liability insurance as it applies to your specific situation and jurisdiction.